Frank Lamani at scrum half, 2 tries off the bench against Japan in their last game. Gets the ball away from the clutches of Verhaeg. And here is Melvin Jaminet. Hasn't played a lot of rugby in recent times. He's looking for match fitness as much as anything else. Luku Otonio, 140 kilos plus. Luku and Maivaka. Jonathan Dante trying to cut a tight line.
In front, advancing, number 12.
Number 12 is advancing, says Amash Ukeli, which is the captain, Semi Ranrandra. So it puts France in a very advantageous position here. It'll be interesting to see if they chip over the points against Fiji or try to entertain the crowd. A couple of great operators at the breakdown too. Lavani Bhatia, 4 turnovers against Australia in the last World Cup, and that was a lot of good form in that respect for La Rochelle. And off the bench, Sam Matavesi, 4 turnovers against Wales. This is Mancala, fullback, regular fullback now for Fiji, and it's carried by Bill Mata, who's played a lot of rugby in Scotland. But it's France and their breakdown work in recent years, and that's Dante gets on the ball there, has really stepped up. Jaminet, 82% strike rate for France. Yeah, they've got some great goal kickers. Thomas Ramos basically doesn't miss. Aikani Veri. That not a great line-out throw from him, and France have got their hands on it. Here's a Gregory Aldreet, extremely heavily involved early on. Ranrandra tries to go in and poach, doesn't get there quickly enough. Hastoy, huge height on that. Counter ruck from Fiji, and it's illegal off their feet, says Amash Ukeli. Kicked 8 from 8 against New Zealand a couple of years ago, so he can certainly be deadly when he's on form, and it looks like he's on form tonight. Aikani Veri. And again, it's the same man. It's Tila Creta gets his arm in the way, and now Dante. Bolson's looking very sharp and very fit. And again, at the breakdown, Fiji doing the damage. Bhatia this time, was it? The demolition man demolishing the French attack.
He's just so effective. He's a monster. He really is. Time and time again, week in, week out for La Rochelle, double Champions Cup winner. But just so difficult to shift. Again, we see the turnover ball. Great hands by Maivaka. Again, Fiji walking into that second pod. France have split their pods, but once that ball becomes loose, it goes out wide. Bhatia, timing, height, power.
Fiji have actually won their last 4 matches in France, including that one against France in 2018. The other 3 have been against other nations. And the last time they met, that victory, when French rugby was really at a low, Fiji beat France in Paris 21-14, Ranrandra, Tuasova with the tries. And since then, there has definitely been a rebirth for French rugby under Fabien Gaultier. Caleb Muntz almost running out of clock time and putting Fiji on the board. Aldreet will definitely regret not using BLBRE, because that was a try in the right-hand corner if he'd given the ball to the young speedster. Hastoy, Antonio. Hastoy, great pass. BLBRE, one more stone that looked high from Mangala as BRE went to the ground. Chance wide, so many French numbers. Greta, here's the try. And the Nantes crowd rises for Piato Maivaka.
And France get their 5-pointer. Wonderful build-up play again. It's the pace of Barry again. This pass looked like it just straight forward, but once he gets the defensive edge, makes such a difference. Clobbered high in the tackle by Magala, but this young man bags the talent. Clearly, once that ball's recycled, the hand catch is good. They played to width, the 2-on-1 executed perfectly this time, and Movaka goes in the corner.
Gratin stealing lineouts, winning lineouts, Menace at the breakdown, delivering try-scoring passes. And you can see why he was involved in all 5 Grand Slam games in 2022. A lot for Fabien Galtier to consider because he hasn't yet named that 33.
Look, and there's several positions as well that he probably doesn't know. You look at scrum half, you've got Antoine Dupont, but behind him, Maxime Lecu, Couilloux, who's your number 3, Serrin, who's your number 4, he doesn't quite know. So these test matches, huge importance.
Interesting trajectory. Are they gonna snuggle one over? Here they are! What a try it is by Fiji, using sheer force, sheer power, and the try is scored by Ikanivere, the Fiji Druin Player of the Year. Well, that's not the sort of Fijian spectacle-style rugby we're used to seeing, but mightily effective, and it shows now how they're able to change their game. Now they're playing super rugby week in, week out.
And the quick play, the quick thinking again by Caleb Muntz, the standoff, bursting the line from another misfire at the line out. But again, Fiji just showing a different way of playing, rolling up their sleeves, taking France on up front, plugging away and knocking them over the whitewash.
It's another area of the game against Japan, their kicking game, their tactical kicking game, looked much improved. It was Ben Volavola quite often who hasn't actually made the 33, but that might actually show their depth at 10. Caleb Muntz getting the call ahead of Volavola, and he converts.
Volavola again, who struggled for game time in the top 14 last season. And Muntz absolutely fantastic with Drua.
For the biggest of big games, the final 28th of October. Good take by Verhaeg. Good drive by France. Aldrit, another advantage coming France's way. Movaka, good offload, good pass to Antonio. Verhaeg carries into Dungay. Antonio to the left. Barreling, barging, hammering, Antonio! You try stopping on 146 kilograms. Well, that's the final act of this first half, and it finishes perfectly for France, having been shocked by that Fijian comeback through Ikanivere's muscle try, and then Antonio just before the blow. France lead Fiji at halftime here in a vibrant Nantes by 21 points to 10. Caleb Muntz made his debut against Tonga in July, and he's straight into the 33-man squad for the World Cup. Fiji looking to go quickly, and Frank Lamani to Bill Mata, adding to those carrying meters. Impressed in the first half. And they've got into the breakdown. Well, this is how France started the game, with Jaminet kicking for goal. He's only missed one, and that was off the post. Big replacement, Luke Tungi is on. The freshness of the Fijian bench. Albert Tuasui, the latest with a carry. Tungi, as he got there. Oh, it must have been so close from the replacement tight head. But they're lining up now. Can they do what they did in the first half? Tuasui. Not quite.
Hands on the line, hands on the line.
Ikanivere once more. This time the French defence is very sound.
Advantage offside.
advantage, offside, Fiji's way.
No hands. Play advantage, Fiji.
Oh, they go towards the back line and run! The skipper gets the stretch and produces a skipper's try at such a vital juncture in this game.
Well, they power their way right back in. Again, the ability to drive at that gain line as Radradra again that busts the tackle of Arthur Vincent, gets them over the gain line and generates the quick ball. And here through the tackle of the halfbacks, Antoine Astoy and Maxime Lucu does the grounding. Does he get the ball down?
Takes over the throwing duties. 8 penalties to 7 is the count.
Oh,
Macalou! All the way at a rampant pace. Supreme reading by Macalou.
Sekou Macalou, one of the best back row athletes in the top 14. What about that for a read? Ball taken at the front of the line out. He's at the tail, comes up, generates some real line speed, and he runs like a winger. He is a proper athlete. Clean set of heels to the Fijian back line. Winnie Antonio likes it.
Bugarit, another player who started against Scotland at Murrayfield. Flamand takes the ball. There's a penalty advantage here. And Baptiste Serra pulls it for Chalereau beyond Gross, and Serra against the grain to Jalibert. That's good rugby. Bielbiani, Macalou again showing that rampant pace. There's a foot in touch though. The flag is up on the near side, but it was nearly a repeat performance from Macalou, who can really scamper.
Look, it's a role that week in, week out for Stade Francais. If you watch the top 14, he is absolutely electric. He plays this role in their 3-3-1. He sits out wide on the 15 or 5 meter channel, and you give that man ball and time and space. He is so hard to stop.
0-3, France winning all 4. Big win in 0-3. France romped home 61-18. Jaminai's been absolutely sublime. Just the one miss. And that can't be said about all Fijian sides that have come to World Cups. So there'll be a test for anyone you feel, if they can get their best team on the pitch. That'll do. Moivaka decides it's over. And a match that had spells of entertainment. We saw some decent tries. That man was powerful and relentless. Winnie Antonio. Has Hastoy done enough to get ahead of Jalibert? Probably not. France one defeat at Murrayfield in their first warm-up game, and they put the second string out. A win against Scotland in their second match, and a win here tonight. Full time in Nantes. France 34, Fiji 17.